Hello my fellow anglers and welcome back to the channel. It's your fishing friend here, ready to dive deep into the bite predictions for an exciting day, October 29th, 2025. Now this isn't just any late autumn day, friends. This forecast holds some fascinating insights into how the cooling waters and specific lunar phase will influence our fin targets. Forget what you think you know about late autumn fishing. This day is shaping up to be one where knowing the subtle details will truly pay off. We're going to uncover why certain species will be biting, where to find them, and exactly what tackle to use to make this day unforgettable. Stick around because by the end of this you'll be armed with all the knowledge you need for a fantastic outing, turning potentially tricky conditions into a triumph. First up, let's talk tactics for a few of our favorite species that will be active in the United Kingdom this late autumn. Pike, the freshwater sharks. My friends, autumn is prime time for these freshwater sharks, and October 29th is no exception. With the water continuing to cool, pike will be in full-on feeding mode, trying to pack on weight before the true chill of winter sets in. You'll want to look for them in features in slower-flowing rivers, canals, and lakes. Think deeper sections around submerged structures like dying weed beds, fallen trees, and bridge pilings where they can ambush prey with ease. The cooler water means they might not be as aggressive as in early autumn, so a slower retrieve is absolutely key. For tackle, large, soft plastics, jerkbaits, or deadbaits, especially mackerel or smelt, are fantastic choices. Cast near those ambush points and work your lure or bait with patience, letting it flutter on the drop to mimic an injured fish. That's a little trick that often triggers a strike. Perch, the striped fighters. These feisty striped beauties are also very active in late October, gorging themselves before winter. The cooling water temperatures, likely hovering around 10 to 13 degrees Celsius, are getting them really switched on. You'll find them along drop-offs, underwater humps, and the edges of deeper channels. Bridges and locks are also classic perch haunts, offering both cover and food sources. A light to medium spinning rod or a sensitive float rod will do the trick. Small lures like micro jigs, small spinners, or soft plastics in natural colors, greens, browns, dark reds, are ideal as they imitate their natural prey. Remember that slow retrieve here too, friends, as perch can be a bit lethargic in cooler water. Letting your lure flutter on the drop can be incredibly effective. Roach, the wily coarse fish. Now for our coarse anglers, roach can be a bit more challenging in late autumn, but with the right approach, they're definitely catchable. Their metabolism slows down in colder water, but they're still actively feeding. Look for them in slightly deeper, more stable temperature zones. Deeper holes in canals, canal beds, and areas with cover will offer some thermal stability and attract roach looking for consistent feeding grounds. For bait, switch from summer's rich offerings to natural baits like worms, maggots, and casters. A waggler or pole set up with a fine line and small hook will give you the best presentation. Fish your bait on or very close to the bottom. Don't be afraid to pre-bait a small area with a handful of maggots or casters to draw them in. Patience is your best friend with roach on a day like this. Now let's break down the conditions that are shaping our forecast for October 29th. Weather wisdom. What to expect. Across the United Kingdom, we're looking at a generally cool day. Air temperatures will likely range from around 1 degree Celsius below zero, that's 31 degrees Fahrenheit, to 5 degrees Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, in the north, stretching up to 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, 50 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit, further south. We can expect light rain during the day in some areas, potentially turning partly cloudy at night, with a generally low chance of significant precipitation. Wind will be moderate, leaning towards breezy conditions, blowing from the south or southwest at around 9 to 11 miles per hour or 15 to 18 kilometers per hour. Atmospheric pressure looks to be fairly stable without extreme changes, which is generally a good sign for fish activity, as fish prefer stable conditions. These cool, partly cloudy and potentially breezy conditions without extreme pressure changes or heavy rain, usually mean fish will be active, though perhaps not as frantic as in earlier autumn. Water temperature, the heartbeat of the fishery. Water temperatures will be cool across our freshwater systems, likely in the low teens Celsius, around 10 to 13 degrees Celsius, or 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Coastal waters in the south might hold slightly warmer, around 12 to 16 degrees Celsius. As fish are cold-blooded, this cooling trend is crucial. As the water cools from its summer highs, many species become more active, needing to feed heavily to build up energy reserves for winter. However, if there are any sudden drops, fish will seek deeper, more stable thermal layers. This means fish will be moving towards deeper, more stable water, so adjust your depths accordingly. Moon phase. Magic, first quarter. On October 29th, 2025, well be under a first quarter moon. The moon will be about 48 to 50% illuminated and growing larger. This phase occurs roughly 7 days after the new moon, and the moon will be high overhead at sunset, visible until midnight. Popular fishing lore often associates a waxing moon with increasing fish activity, particularly around moonrise and moonset. While it's still early in the waxing cycle, this increasing light can still be a subtle trigger for many species, encouraging a good feeding window in the evening. Overall fish activity, the autumn feast. Considering all these factors, the overall fish activity for October 29th in the United Kingdom looks pretty good. The stable weather, gradually cooling water, and a waxing moon will encourage active feeding, particularly among predators like pike and perch. While some summer species may be heading offshore or becoming dormant, the autumn feed-up for winter means new opportunities for those targeting freshwater game and coarse fish. Freshwater fish will be more concentrated in deeper, structured areas, and their need to feed means they'll be receptive to well-presented baits and lures. My overall assessment for the bite on October 29th is good to capricious. The stable pressure is a big plus, and the cooling waters will keep predators on the hunt. However, the relatively low air temperatures and possibility of light rain might make some coarse fish a bit more cautious, requiring a refined approach. For the dedicated angler, there's definitely potential for some great catches, especially if you focus on those deeper, more stable zones. So, my friends, get out there, enjoy the crisp autumn air, and may your lines be tight. I wish you all tight lines and ni foster, ni cheshwi, no tail, no scales. If you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more expert tips, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for fishing this week? What's your go-to autumn lure or bait for pike or perch? Share your experiences and let's build this amazing fishing community together.